He was 81 when they finally caught him. James Whitey Bulger, the notorious Boston mob boss, DARKWIRE, real stories from The Wire, was found hiding in plain sight in a Santa Monica apartment located at 1012 3rd Street, just a block away from the Pacific Ocean. For 16 years, he was a ghost. How did an FBI informant become one of America's most wanted men? James Whitey Bulger wasn't always a ghost. Born on September 3, 1929, he grew up in the gritty streets of South Boston, where loyalty was currency and betrayal often deadly. His father, James Joseph Bulger Sr., worked as a dock worker, but young Bulger sought a different path. Crime pulled him in early. By his teenage years, Bulger was notorious on the streets, a small-time hood with big-time ambitions. He dropped out of school in the 9th grade and began running with a local gang, earning a reputation for his fearless and ruthless tactics. As the 1970s rolled around, Bulger's ambitions took shape. He became a leader within the Winter Hill Gang, a ruthless group running the Boston underworld. Bulger had a secret weapon, the FBI. In 1974, he began feeding the Bureau tips about rival gangs, earning him the codename BS-1544-TE. The FBI turned a blind eye to his crimes, seeing him as an asset. John Connolly, an agent from Bulger's old neighborhood, was his handler, providing protection and information. Their relationship was built on trust, or so it seemed. The deal paid off. In 1979, Bulger assumed leadership of the Winter Hill Gang. His empire flourished. Drugs, extortion, gambling, you name it, he controlled it. Millions flowed into his coffers. The law couldn't touch him, not with the FBI as unwitting partners. Rivals disappeared, his grip on Boston tightened, and the body count rose. He was untouchable, or so it seemed. Bulger's ascent to power was marked by brutality and cunning, earning him the respect and fear of his peers. By the 1990s, Bulger's empire was at its peak. He was a kingpin, a legend in Boston. But whispers of his double life began to surface. Rumors swirled that he was an informant, protected by corrupt agents. The FBI was becoming aware of the rot within. In 1994, a warning, whispered from Connolly to Bulger, tipped him off about an impending indictment. Bulger vanished overnight, slipping through the FBI's fingers. He left behind a trail of bodies, broken lives, and a stain on the Bureau's reputation. For 16 years, Bulger was the FBI's ghost. He moved silently, changing names, wearing disguises, and living off hidden assets. The Bureau's embarrassment grew with each passing year. But what Bulger didn't know was that the FBI had never stopped hunting. Advances in technology and relentless dedication finally paid off. Agent Robert Fitzpatrick, a veteran of the Boston field office, had been tracking Bulger since the 1970s. He was determined to bring him to justice. In June 2011, a tip from a former neighbor led FBI agents to Santa Monica. Bulger and his longtime companion, Catherine Gregg, had been living a quiet life, posing as retirees. The agents moved in, taking them by surprise. Bulger, the once feared gangster, was arrested without a fight. The operation was codenamed Operation Ghost, and it involved a team of agents from the Los Angeles Fugitive Task Force. The arrest was a meticulously planned operation. Agent Scott Garriola, part of the Los Angeles Fugitive Task Force, played a pivotal role. After years of dead ends, a media campaign targeting Gregg's vanity led to the crucial tip-off. The weather was warm, a typical Californian afternoon, with the temperature at 75 degrees Fahrenheit, as agents surrounded the apartment complex. The sun was shining, and the smell of salt water filled the air. Inside, Bulger and Gregg lived modestly, under assumed names. Bulger had adopted the alias Charles Gasco. They led an unassuming life, often seen walking on the pier or visiting the local library. But their calm existence shattered as agents knocked on their door, guns ready but unseen, ensuring the operation remained low-key to avoid alarming neighbors. The agents had been watching them for weeks, studying their routine, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Bulger's capture exposed the depth of corruption within the FBI. Agents like Connolly and John Morris had shielded Bulger, and the Bureau's integrity was brought into question. The fallout was extensive, with investigations into the FBI's informant practices. Connolly was convicted of racketeering and obstruction of justice, sentenced to 40 years in prison. Morris, who had admitted to taking bribes from Bulger, was sentenced to 8 years in prison. In 2013, Bulger faced a jury. The trial was a media circus, drawing crowds and journalists from around the globe. Witnesses painted a vivid picture of Bulger's ruthlessness. Kevin Weeks, a former associate, testified, "He enjoyed killing. It was power for him." Evidence included damning recordings and testimonies from former gang members. The prosecution presented a detailed timeline of Bulger's crimes, highlighting the brutality and scope of his empire. Bulger was convicted of racketeering and 11 murders. Judge Denise Casper delivered the sentence, 2 life terms plus 5 years. Bulger sat impassively, his fate sealed. Justice, long delayed, had finally been served. The courtroom erupted in a mixture of emotions, with some family members of the victims crying tears of relief, while others shouted in anger. But the story didn't end there. On October 30th, 2018, Bulger was found dead in his prison cell in West Virginia at the Federal Correctional Institution in Hazleton. The notorious mob boss, who had evaded the law for so long, met a violent end at the hands of fellow inmates. His death closed the chapter on a dark era of Boston's history. The FBI announced that Bulger's death was being investigated as a homicide, with several inmates being questioned. Whitey Bulger's tale is a cautionary one. It reveals the dangers of informant corruption and the high stakes of insider dealings. The ghosts of Bulger's past still haunt the FBI, a reminder of what happens when lines between criminals and law enforcement blur. The case has led to reforms within the FBI with a renewed focus on accountability and transparency. His legacy is a testament to ambition, betrayal, and the ultimate price of power. The story of Whitey Bulger serves as a reminder that justice, no matter how delayed, will eventually be served. The FBI's pursuit of Bulger, spanning decades and countless agents, is a testament to the Bureau's dedication to justice and its commitment to bringing criminals to justice, no matter the cost. The case of Whitey Bulger will be remembered as one of the most infamous in American history, a stark reminder of the dangers of corruption and the importance of accountability. The FBI's handling of the case has been scrutinized, with many questioning how Bulger was able to evade capture for so long. The Bureau has since implemented reforms aimed at preventing similar cases in the future. The story of Whitey Bulger is a complex one, filled with twists and turns. It is a tale of crime, corruption, and ultimately justice. The case has captivated the nation, with many fascinated by the notorious mob boss and his eventual downfall. The FBI's pursuit of Bulger is a testament to the Bureau's dedication to justice and a reminder that no one is above the law. The legacy of Whitey Bulger will continue to be felt for years to come, a reminder of the dangers of corruption and the importance of accountability. The FBI's handling of the case will be scrutinized, with many questioning how Bulger was able to evade capture for so long. The case has led to reforms within the FBI, with a renewed focus on transparency and accountability. The story of Whitey Bulger is a cautionary tale, a reminder of the dangers of corruption and the importance of accountability. It is a testament to the FBI's dedication to justice and a reminder that no one is above the law. The case will continue to be remembered as one of the most infamous in American history, a stark reminder of the dangers of corruption and the importance of transparency and accountability.